Hey City, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Sio, and today I am back with a let's talk about a movie. And the movie that I'm going to be talking about today is The Woman King. Now, if you do not love spoilers, this video is filled with spoilers, so I would suggest you go watch The Woman King first and then come watch this video. Or if you want to know what's going on before you even watch the movie, then I highly suggest that you watch this video and then go watch the movie. But then when I'm shooting this video, The Woman King is still streaming in cinemas, so by the time I upload this video, I don't know if it will still be streaming in cinemas. But yeah, anyway, sweetie, The Woman King is a movie that follows the women warriors of Dahomey, and they go by the name of Agoji. But specifically, it follows the life of the general Naniska, right? And it sees her train the next generation of the Agoji. And yeah, that's how I'm gonna put it. She's training the next generation of the Agoji. Now, why I'm saying it's following the life of Naniska, it's because all the components of the movie lead back to Naniska. It doesn't lead back to Amenza. It doesn't lead back to Azogi. It doesn't lead back to Nawi, but it always leads back to Naniska. That's why I was like, this movie is really centered around Naniska and her life. So, in the beginning of the movie, we see the warriors release some women from captivity who were going to be sold into slavery. So that's when we see who the Agoji warriors are, right? And then we get introduced to Nawi. Now, Nawi is this girl who is rebellious and she doesn't want to get married. She wants to be married off to her father wants to marry her off to an old man, but she's like, nope, I'm not going to get married off to this man. As a result, her father takes her to the palace and says that her daughter will now become a warrior, So that is when Nawi meets Azogi, and then Azogi is the one that is like, gives her a tour of the palace and tells her what's going on and all and everything, right? So one thing I'm gonna say, if you're looking to watch a really good action movie, I would highly suggest you watch The Woman King, because it gives you all the action that you want, the way they fight, everything about it. It's wonderful. I do not want to lie. So if you're looking for a really wonderful action movie to watch, The Woman King is the one. If you're also really looking for an emotional movie to watch, The Woman King is the one. Okay, so firstly, Azogi, right? I'm going to describe her character. Azogi is this warrior. You would think she's heartless and she is so strong. She is the warrior. But at the end of the day, for me, she was a woman, and she was a woman who had a heart. She loved and she cared about Nawi. If she cared about you, she cared about you. And that was one thing I saw. She cared about Nawi, and she was a warrior. Now, don't get it twisted. She was a warrior. She would, what did she call it? She had long nails, and she said it was for taking out your enemy's eyes. And I love that about her. She was a warrior. And that's when we also get introduced to Azogi. Fine. We also follow the journey of Nawi to becoming the Azogi and all her trials and tribulations in becoming a warrior, And one thing about Nawi is she was inquisitive, if I may put it like that, because they were like, you can't get married. She's like, why can't I get married? The male warriors can have families, but why can't I have a family, And then we just see her character in the movie, right? Also, one of my favorite characters, Amenza. Amenza was Naniska's best friend. She really portrayed what it means to be a best friend through thick and thin. She always supported Naniska, and she always told her the truth, whether Naniska liked it or not. She always told her the truth. So as the movie carries on, we get to know that Naneska was actually raped because she was also kept held captive. And then in her time of being held captive, she was raped by a general from another kingdom. So as a result, she got pregnant, and her and Amenza decided that they were going to give away the baby. So they gave the baby away to a missionary, and it turns out the baby is Nawi. So we find that out later in the movie, So now, once Naneska discovers that Nawi is her daughter, she now becomes quite emotional. She has a soft spot for her. And we see it when they go to war against the other warriors. I forgot what their names were. We see it when they go to war with the other warriors, and Nawi, Azogi, and the other warriors were taken. So because of that, she was like, and the king ordered her to not go after the warriors because the warriors sacrificed their lives for the kingdom. But she went against the king's words, against the king's demands or words or whatever. And she was like, she is going to save her baby, And at the time, it was just Naneska and Ameza that knew about Nawi being Naneska's daughter. And then she went and she saved Nawi. As a result, she also killed the person who raped her. Now, in that moment, I was happy. I was happy for her because she got her revenge. She finally got to gain her strength back. She got that courage, because even earlier in the movie, when you saw the guy come and face the king and tell them about the taxes that they need to pay, you could see that Naneska was still scared of this person. She had trauma from the ordeal, even though Naneska was a powerful warrior and she was just an amazing warrior, but you could still see the scars that are there. So I was happy at the end of the movie when she was able to kill him and gain her power back. I was happy about that, And then also Nawi, we got to see the type of character she is. So in all honesty, this movie, I don't want to lie, it really highlighted each and every, it really highlighted Naneska's character, it highlighted Nawi's character, Azogi's character, and Amenza's character. We got to see the type of people they were, and we got to fall in love with the characters because they were these powerful women, but they also were so soft, they were so gentle, and they were so, for me, it was beautiful to watch, And then a lot of people were actually like, I don't know, they were like, oh, Azogi passing, it was so painful. But I'm like, you know what? Azogi passing, yes, she sacrificed her life to save Nawi. But what made that scene heartbreaking, it wasn't Azogi getting killed. It was more of Nawi mourning Azogi. Because at the end of the day, when Nawi first arrived at the palace, when her father gave her up, Azogi was the first person that welcomed her. Azogi was that person who cared for her. Azogi was the person who would protect her, who taught her how to become a warrior, So for me, the painful part about that scene was when Nawi was actually crying and mourning Azogi, And for me, that was the painful part. Not the killing part, but the mourning side of it. So yeah, The Woman King is an action movie, and I read that it is actually based on real life events. So it is something that really happened in West Africa. So yeah, that was the movie. That was the storyline of The Woman King. I may have skipped some parts of it. I may have skipped, some crucial parts, as people may say, whatever. But for me, it was a really good and amazing movie. I would really watch it again. It easily became one of my favorite all-time movies. Like, it's already there, you know. But I loved it because, man, oh man, it just really showed the strength of a woman, even with your emotions. But you can deal with your emotions. Your emotions are not your weakness. As much as I remember Naneska was like, as a woman, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to let your tears fall, you know. You're supposed to be strong, and tears are some sort of, you not crying is showing strength. But at the end of the day, it just said to me, as a woman you can cry, as a woman you can break down, as a woman you can hurt, you know. But tears are actually not a sign of weakness, they're a sign of strength. And to see that Nawi was this amazing little warrior, as she was at the time, but she was a warrior, and she was amazing at who she was, and she was becoming, you know, she was actually, the time she was crying, it was when she was still she was in training to become Agoji. But even with everything, you know, those tears to me show that she's actually strong. She's able to express her emotions and just carry on and be a badass, you know. So for me, that movie really, really captured a woman's strength. So yeah, it was an amazing movie. It was a good movie. I would highly recommend, if you have not watched it, I would highly recommend that you watch it. And if you're sensitive to blood, but yeah, excuse, because there's a lot of bloodshed in the movie. But honestly, I would give it an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. Or a 9 out of 10. Yeah, a 9 out of 10. Also, one thing that I loved about the movie is the way they captured the woman's skin tones. The way they captured the woman's skin tones, not even the woman's skin tones, but everyone's skin tones. Everyone was not just black. You know, some movies, it's just black. But you could see the different skin tones. You can see the different brown shades. You can see that, okay, get caramel. This brown shade, it was beautiful. I don't want to lie, it was beautiful to watch. So yeah, it's a highly recommend to watch. And yeah, anyway, I will see you on another video. Hope you enjoy the movie when you do watch it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to become part of the Sweetie family.